Good morning, Canadian Yarn Horde. My name's Alyssa, and today we're just going to make a quick project. That project will be this fingerless glove. It's just a simple fingerless glove. As you can see, Salem is sleeping way back there at the bed. He is sound asleep. You can't see Maya. She is just right there. And so I'm going to move you over to the overhead camera and explain what we're doing, and we'll get started. So this fingerless glove, you are going to want to use 3 3/4 for the ribbing and 4 for the base, and then you'll go back to 3 3/4 for the top ribbing. Now I do realize I did knit 2 purl 2 on the bottom here, and then only knit 1 purl 1 on the top here. I did do that. I didn't do it on purpose, but it ended up going that way. So the yarn I'm going to start with is going to be the Bernat Yarn Inspirations Bundle Up. It is called Marshmallow. I got this at Len's Mills for $7.99. It is a 4 medium. It recommends a 5mm needle and a 5.5mm hook. Then the purple is this Loops and Threads Baby Rainbow. Its color is Orchid. It recommends hand wash. This one says machine wash. So this one says medium. Now I have washed these. These do seem to be fine in the washing machine. They don't seem to have a problem. So it does recommend a 5mm needle and a 6mm hook. We are going to use, I'm going to use a 3.5mm hook to cast on, as I like to do on my 3 3/4 needles. And I'm going to cast on 38 stitches. Now, I do want to leave a bit of a tail. So you're going to start your slip stitch, and you're going to cast on 38 stitches. So just like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to finish the rest of the 38 and I will come right back. So I have 37 stitches, and as normal, the 38 comes off the hoop and goes onto the needle. So you are going to start by going knit 2, 1, 2, and then you're going to bring the yarn in the front, and you're going to put the needle behind the loop, and you're going to purl 2. If you are new, that is how this is called a knit 2 purl 2 ribbing. And I very much appreciate you showing up and checking me out. What I basically do is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I do daily updates to show you some of the work I do in the background, so the bigger projects that I'm doing, whether for video or just for myself. Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, I release project videos just like I'm doing right now. So showing you how to make it. I usually try to tell you how long it takes me. This should only take about an hour to make the 2 of them, maybe an hour each. This one's very simple. You are going to just knit 2 purl 2 the whole row. Now you're going to do that for, I think, let me measure. Now, I'm pretty sure you're going to do that for 1.5 inches. So you're going to do that for 1.5 inches. You're going to knit 2 purl 2, and I will come back and show you what the next stage is. All right, so I have my 1.5 inches right where I want to be. So now we're going to change to 4mm. And we're going to trim this yarn. So that we can put aside for the moment. And now we're going to start with the Loops and Threads, which I didn't say earlier, but it is a Michaels property. So you would get that one at Michaels. I do not remember how much you paid for it. And this one, you're just going to knit all the way down. And then you're going to purl all the way down. So that is what you're going to do. That's your stocking stitch. I will show you how to knit like this. And then I will show you when I'm done this row, I'll show you how to purl. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I don't think I said that earlier. I do wish to earn your like, share, and comments. I would love to earn your subscription. I would love to have any comments you have, questions, comments, or concerns you have below. I love to hear from my viewers. Pardon me. So this is knit. You just put the needle that way, and you just go around the needle. If you notice where the loop placement is, that is knitting. Now we're going to do purling. So you have the yarn in front and you go behind the loop. And that is your purl. You're going to do this now for, I think it was 3 inches. Just going to do a few more stitches so you can really see how to purl. It's very simple if you are new. And then what you want to do is you want to knit for 5.5 inches. So you're going to do this for 5.5 inches, and then I will come back and I will show you how I finish off the top. Okay, so I almost have it all the way. What you want to do with this last row is you want to change it to the 3 1/4 or 3 3/4, I mean. And now you're going to start with the ribbing. So you're going to knit 1, purl 1. So knit 1, purl 1, and I do realize I'm starting this in purple, but that's so that when I purl the white in the next row, it doesn't seem so obvious. So you're just going to do this row in the purl. Maybe I didn't. All right, so I'm just going to do this row in knit or purl, because this one is purl. And then I'm just going to change it and we'll see how that goes. So I will be back when I'm done purling this row. And I will show you how I change over in the next row. Okay, so now that I finished that row, we're just going to trim that about here because you want a nice tail you're going to need to sew up with. I'm going to put that away. And now I'm going to grab the white again. So now this one, there's my 3 3/4. So you're just going to, I think I knit this one then. Pretty sure I just knit this full row. So that way I didn't get the colors messed up. So I'm going to knit this row. And then the next row, I'm going to start the ribbing. Just tuck in that little tiny tail. And I think this one is only 1 inch of ribbing. So when you're finished this, your next row is going to be ribbed. This is just so you don't end up with purl, so it doesn't look like that. You'll get a border like that when you change color if you're not careful. So I just wasn't entirely sure how I did it on this one. So we're just going to knit this row because that way, like I said, it looks a little better. I am going to decrease at the end of this row and the start of the next row. And the reason I want to take about 2 off is because I like it being a little tighter in my hand. So I should have decreased at the beginning, but I didn't. So I'm going to decrease there. And now I'm going to knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, all the way to the end. And you're going to do this for 1 inch. So I will come back when I've got 1 inch and I will show you how I cast off and sew it up and do the thumb. Okay, so I have my inch. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast off, and I am going to actually do it on the needles. So you really want to leave a very loose cast off here. You just want to keep going over the needle. And over the needle. And the next one. And you're going to do that till the end. So I'm going to finish this off, and then I'm going to show you how I sewed it up and finish the thumb off. So I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so I'm going to sew the white part together. Now that I'm finished the cast off and I've trimmed the yarn, you're going to just go in and sew the white. You don't want to do anything other than the white part. And then I'm going to measure them to make sure I get the thumb hole the right size. And you just want to keep threading it through until you get here. Just going to grab that one, and then I'm going to sew it all the way back up. And that should be pretty good and darned in, so I'm going to trim it. Now, this part, what I like to do is, because I have the second one done, if not, I would put it on and measure it on me. But because I have the other one done and I've already done that, you want to put in a stitch marker. And that way you know not to sew past that. Or if you're going to take this one, I'm going to carry it down in just a second, and I'll show you how I do that. And just sew up the white as far as I can. So I don't have a very long tail, but I have just enough of one, so we'll see what I can do here. That one pull it down a bit because I can see it needed to be. I might actually get this one all the way sewed up. I'm just going to wrap it around, and then I'm going to come down and we'll trim that one off. And I'm going to do the same thing with this, just darn it in and trim it off. And then, now this one, what I do is I just travel down this seam. Just come on down to the stitch marker, and then I'll go across at the stitch marker, loop it around, and that should tighten it to the point where it won't come undone. And now I'll just travel down. I might need to trim more purple just to sew this thread up, but I don't know. But other than that, that's pretty much how you do this seaming. So I'm just going to finish the seam off, and I will come back and I will show you how I finish off the thumb. So I'll be back in a sec. All right, so I've got that done. Now what you're going to do is grab, I'm going to start at this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So it should be about 15 stitches by the looks of it. I'm going to grab these double pointed needles. Now, if you don't want to do this part, this is not a crucial make or break part. 2, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there we go. That should be about 15 stitches, 15 or 16. And I'm going to put that in there. And you're going to knit 1, purl 1 for 2 rows and then a cast off. So 3 in total. So you're going to go 1, so you're just going to do this for 3 rows and cast off, and then you will be done. So I will come back when I'm done and show you the finished product. So I will be back in a second, and it will be all cast off and sewed up, and I will be back. So there you have it. There's the simple knitted fingerless gloves. I hope to see you again. I hope you have a wonderful day, and bye.